I would like to welcome you to this week's edition of How is the Rutherford County Real Estate Market? This is for the week starting April 7th, 2025. I'm John Turner with the Turner Victory team of Onward Real Estate, as many of y'all already know that. So, hey, this week we've had a lot of things in the news. First of all, spring break in Rutherford County. Second of all, it's been a very stormy spring break in Rutherford County. So I would not consider this necessarily a normal week in real estate due to those two things. But also, we've heard something else a lot in the news this week out of the federal, on the federal level, and that's the word tariffs. Now, it seems like there's a lot of disagreement on tariffs, things like that. I'm no economist. I'm no expert there, so I'm not trying to look pro or con on those. But what I will tell you is because of several different things, including tariffs, we have seen the 10-year Treasury yield drop quite a bit. For quite a while now, it's been really having a tough time getting below 4.2%. That's just been kind of a basement, and it's been given resistance. Well, on Thursday, it actually closed not only below 4.2, it went all the way down to below 3.9%. On Friday, it closed right at 4%. Why does that matter? Why are we talking about that on a real estate video? Well, the reason why is because mortgage rates closely follow the 10-year Treasury. So if you have not seen them yet, I would expect you to see mortgage rates easing somewhat based upon that information. If you are looking to purchase a house, if you're under contract, you have the opportunity to lock in your rate, you may want to check with your loan officer first thing Monday and check with them, see what the rates are doing. It may be a great opportunity for you to lock in at that point. And to all my real estate agents who are watching this, if you have clients, what better way to show some value than to call them up and say, hey, let's check with your lender today. There may be some opportunities there because every drop in interest rate will save your clients money monthly, long term. All right, if you remember last week, we saw pendings really come up. It was the first time year over year that they were up in 2025. I was hoping that trend would continue, but it did not. We actually had 105 homes go under contract this week compared to the 145 homes last week and the 140 homes that we had this time last year. Now, I'm not going to put a whole lot of weight in that this week because between spring break and the storms, we know that a lot of people held off on their plans. I personally have clients that decided to wait until this coming week to do anything just because of weather concerns. So the March numbers are in. Sales have been down the first 2 months, January and February of 2025. What did they do in March? Well, in March, we had 414 homes close. That's down 6% from last year where we had 441 homes close. We ended up closing 1,013 homes in quarter one of this year, which is down a little over 12% from this time last year because we closed over 1,150 homes in 2024. So the market is still down. I guess the good news is in March we were only down 6%. That shows me that we're at least getting closer to what we did last year with the pending sales from last week and possible mortgage rates dropping. I certainly think we're going to see the market pick up some, but again, we only have a week or two worth of data, so we'll see what happens there. Let me see. Our inventory continues to climb. Right now we have 1,239 homes on the market. That is the highest we've had in several months. Last week we actually saw a decline in inventory, but we bounced right back this month. Right now we have 3.59 months supply, almost 3.6 months supply of inventory. So technically it's still a seller's market. But we have seen a drastic jump over the past year. This time last year, we had about 2.1 month supply of inventory. And just give you some hard numbers, the 1239 units that we have available right now, this time last year, we only had 812 units. So that's more than a 52% increase in inventory. What does that mean? Well, if you are a seller, you've got a lot more choices. There's 400, 450 more homes for you to choose from in Rutherford County this time this year than there was last year. If you're a seller, that means that there's 450 more homes on the market. Some of those are your competition. So you really need to think about the 3 Ps of selling. It's the promotion, which the Turner Victory team, we do a great job of that. We have a proven process there. But it's also the presentation. How are you presenting that home? You need to make sure that it is retail ready, it's show ready. You can't just put it out on the market and think it's going to sell. And then the third and the most important thing is pricing. You've really got to look at pricing, and not just what homes have sold for in the past, but you need to look competitively. How are you competing against these other homes on the market? Price points below 400, you're still, if you're a seller, you're still in a good market. Buyers, your choices are a little bit limited. 500,000, man, we're seeing a quick rise of inventory there. So if you're selling in that market, you need to really be careful. And the 900,000 still is a very slow market. We did have 2 more pendings in that price range this week, but there's over a year's supply in the $900,000 price range right now in Rutherford County. So I'm John Turner. This is your weekly market update for Rutherford County. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. If you want to get on my mailing list to get all these papers and charts and stuff that I send out, shoot me a message and I'll get you on that list. Thank you and hope you have a wonderful week.